going to be making soft pretzels today. You can check out the soft pretzel recipe on Canvas as well as on my website www.lamoehr.com. So let's get started. Wait! Stop! Did you wash your hands for 20 seconds? Did you wash your countertops off? If not, pause this, sanitize whatever device you're doing, wash your hands, wash the countertops, then let's begin. All the ingredients measured out for this first mixture, we're going to pour it into the KitchenAid bowl. So we're going to take our 1.5 cups of warm water. We're going to add our tablespoon of sugar. We're going to add our salt, which was 2 teaspoons. I'm just going to give that a quick stir just to start the dissolving process. And remember that temperature of the water does have to be between 110 and 115 so that we don't kill off our yeast, which is going to be what we add next. So we're just going to sprinkle this on top. And we're going to allow this to sit for approximately 5 minutes. While we are waiting for our yeast to foam, we can go ahead and weigh out our flour. It's 22 ounces if you're going by weight. Otherwise, it's going to be about 4.5 cups if you are doing it with measuring cups. So I have my scale here. 22 ounces is going to be 1 pound, 6 ounces. You can also melt your butter either on the stovetop or in the microwave. A little bit more. Ba-boom. In about 5 minutes, we see that our yeast has started to foam. So the next steps that we're going to be doing is adding the flour that we just weighed and the melted butter. So we're going to pour this in. Okay, and then we're also going to be adding our melted butter. So that was 4 tablespoons of melted butter. And we're going to be beating this on low speed using the dough attachment. And if you don't have a dough attachment, I'm going to show you how we're going to knead this by hand in just a bit anyway. Dough hook is attached, and now we go. Whoa. Amazing. It has only been a few minutes, and it's already pulling away from the sides. This is a good thing. Now, you could either keep it here, or we can turn it off, and we can finish the process by hand. And if you don't have a mixer, you can also do this process by hand to start off. The next step is to lightly flour our surface. So make sure that you have enough available to you so that it doesn't stick to your counter, and then also just have a little bit of extra on the side. So what I'm going to do is take my dough, scoop it out, and then I'm going to sprinkle some flour on the top, and this is going to be where we're kneading. So we're going to take our dough, we're going to take the furthest part away from us, bring it down, and then use the heels of our hand. We're going to do a quarter turn, or we're going to keep this motion going until it turns into a smooth, pliable dough. So it is going to feel kind of squishy when you're done with it. If you were going to be starting this process without the KitchenAid, what you could do is basically just mix it together until it starts forming a soft dough, and then put it on your counter and start this process by hand. The more we work it, the more of the gluten strands are starting and continuing to develop. And who can tell me what 2 things make up gluten? Oh my gosh, you guys are right. Flour and water. Again, if you need to add any extra flour, just add a little bit at a time. So once your dough is nice and smooth, and you can form it into a ball like this, it's going to be kind of squishy. We're going to place it in a bowl, and we're going to let it sit for an hour at room temperature. If you are going to be letting it rise overnight because you can't get the party started quite till then you can just take it, you can put it into a bowl sprayed with Pam, lightly spray the top of it, and then you would saran wrap. If you're just going to be having it sit on the counter, you can just cover it with a towel and then set it off to the side. No pets in the kitchen! No! But you were so good, but no! Before we bake our soft pretzels, we have to boil them first in a solution of water and baking soda. So we have 10 cups of water boiling. I am going to gradually add this in. You'll see that it's gonna bubble up. Spray 2 baking sheets with Pam. I also add parchment paper on them, but if you don't have parchment, don't worry about it. Whoa, so fun. So now that our dough has risen, we're just gonna punch it down to get rid of those air pockets, and we can take this whole thing and we can put it on our countertop. Okay, I like to spray my countertop with some Pam on here, and we're going to divide this out into 8 equal pieces. So I'm just going to put it into a rectangle. Doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, but now I can take each of these pieces, cut in half. If you don't have a bench scraper, don't worry about it. You can just use a butter knife. Okay, and then take that. So we'll work with one at a time. Again, if your countertop feels a little slippery, you can just put a little more Pam on it. You're gonna roll it like it's a thing of Play-Doh. Okay, and you're gonna stretch it out as you go. So working towards the center, bring it off to the side. Okay, so we want it to be as evenly distributed as possible. So if you see any pieces that are a little bit thinner than the rest of it, just stretch out everything so that it is roughly the same. So now that I have my piece that's about 24 inches, the last step is to turn it into a pretzel. So I take the outside, bring it towards the inside, cross, and twist. Okay, so at this point, it's going to look like this, and I can set it off to the side. See it again. So we're rolling it out to be about 24 inches. Out, cross, twist, boom. Another option that you can do is you can roll it out, and if you want, you can give it a little spin and also stretch it out as you go, and then still go back to that same technique. But what if I don't want a pretzel shape? Can I still do it? Why, yes, you can. So you can still roll it out just the same way that we were rolling before. If you want to do the jump rope technique, you do you. But if you want to just make it into little nuggets, you can just cut the pieces into the size that you want. Okay, another option is you can roll it even thinner than what we were originally doing. And then take it, fold it in half, and then you can twist it. Now that we have our baking soda mixture ready to go, I'm just going to carefully place the pretzel in there for 30 seconds. After it has been in the baking soda solution for 30 seconds, we are going to take a slotted spoon or a slotted turner and just place it on a cooling rack just so that we can let some of that excess water drip off. To add our soft pretzels to our parchment lined baking sheet. They should be cool enough to handle, so that shouldn't be a problem. Our last step is to take some of our egg wash and we're going to brush it on the outside of our dough. And then sprinkle a little kosher salt on the top. If you are choosing to make cinnamon sugar, I would still recommend using the egg wash so we can still get the color from it, and then when it comes out of the oven, we'll sprinkle it with cinnamon sugar. It's the moment of truth. Depending on how you like your soft pretzels, you can either go darker or you can go lighter. Totally. If you'd like to do cinnamon sugar, you can just melt some butter, brush it on the soft pretzel when it comes out of the oven, and then take some cinnamon sugar and sprinkle it right on there. I live a really sad life. Later, gators.